2026 isn't just another year astrologically, it's a turning point. Multiple outer planets are changing signs, which means the direction of our lives and the world is shifting too. So let's break down what's actually happening out there astrologically. So the number one thing is going to be that Pluto shift. So from 2008 to 2024, Pluto, the planet of transformation, was transiting through Capricorn. Capricorn being the sign of all of the structures under our feet, from government to our family systems. And that completely dismantled those major systems: governments, corporations, financial structures, and even the foundations of our personal lives. Pluto exposes what's corrupt, weak, or unsustainable. Now that Pluto has moved into Aquarius, this begins a long era of reinventing systems beneath our feet: technology, social structures, collective power, and how people reclaim authority. Now, the other big thing is Neptune and Saturn. That is a big situation. So since 2011, Neptune in Pisces brought compassion, but it also brought confusion, disillusionment, and a lot of mass manipulation. A lot of people have felt gaslit or unsure of what to trust. Now that Neptune moves into Aries, where beliefs turn into action, we have clarity and the desire to rebuild these structures that Pluto has dismantled. Now, Saturn loves structure, right? It is the planet that loves boundaries and long-term goals and plans. And that also has moved into Aries. That's a 30-year cycle. It hasn't been there for 30 years. Neptune has not been here since the Civil War era. And Pluto moving into Aquarius, that hasn't been since the time of the Revolutionary War. Now, just because all those things kind of coincide with time frames where there was a lot of instability in America, it doesn't mean that it's replaying again now. It means that we are in the process of reinventing, but we're smarter and we're wiser than when these things originally happened. Saturn moving into Aries brings a lot of truth, and it brings a lot of clarity. And over the past few years, Saturn moving through Neptune has helped us to kind of shake off that illusion and finally see things clearly, especially politically and socially. Now, Saturn and Neptune, they're aligning, and that's a once in a 30-year alignment in February of this year. They meet at 0 degrees of Aries. It's a very rare reset point. And the last time that this actually happened was in 1989 during the collapse of major ideological systems and the collapse of the Berlin Wall. This is about truth replacing fantasy. And there's a lot of things, not where it'll just happen globally, but also in our own lives, where outdated, think of that, walls and foundations and things that just don't serve us, they fall away to make way for the new ways that are meant to usher us into the new era. Now, another big thing that's happening, we got a lot of big things happening this year. Uranus moving from Taurus into Gemini. Now, we got a little bit of a preview of that in 2025 when Uranus dipped its toes into Gemini for a hot minute. Then it retrograded and it moved back into Uranus. And as it finishes up this transit of Taurus, which actually began in 2018, it was about disrupting money, healthcare, technology, even our weather patterns. The last time Uranus was in Taurus was during the Great Depression, when the financial system was completely restructured. Now Uranus is finishing up its last leg of being in Taurus again. And it's redefining our financial system. Think crypto, think different types of economic systems, think of the technology that's improved. There are so many things that are happening and being restructured now. And then as it moves into Gemini, where it's going to be for the next 7 years, it's reinventing how we communicate, how we learn, how we share information. And it's about to change pretty dang fast, because that's how Uranus likes to do things. Now, the eclipses this year, we're moving back to the Leo Aquarius axis, which the last time this happened was 2016, 2017. Where were you dimming your light back then? Where were you ready to be seen? If you want to understand how this affects you personally, Watch my sun, moon, and rising videos here, and then also the longer videos that I have on YouTube if you really want to get into it. I also have a really cool 2026 astrology workbook that I created if you're wanting to see how astrology works, how it impacts your life. It's a really cool book. It's got like a astrology 101 at the beginning, and then I work you through how to figure it out in your own birth chart. Then we go month by month in 2026 with all of the major events, the moon cycles, all of these things. And then we have a workbook thing to see how does it work in my chart, and then also some journal prompts to really help you embody it. This is definitely a year where there's a lot of looking to the past and trusting what our intuition is telling us. And that's thanks to the Mercury retrogrades in all water signs this year. Mercury, the planet of conscious mind, retro, looking to the past. And it has us looking back to where we may have discontinued or discounted, I guess is a better word, what our feelings and our emotions tell us. And this is a year where we're reinventing everything around us, and we have to really go on faith alone. And that requires us to be in touch with our higher self and our intuition. So these retrogrades are definitely going to be helpful through that. And we also have Venus retrograding this year, which doesn't happen every year. That happens every other year. And that's at the end of the year. And that gives us a chance to look to the past, right? Retrograde for the things that Venus represents, which is love, money, relationship, harmony, balance, everything in our lives that have to do with that, right? Beauty and aesthetics. And we're looking to how our relationships work, where we face the same patterns again and again in relationship, and how to make conscious choices to be different moving forward. That's pretty much all of the things. But if you want to see the longer one, watch my longer video on YouTube.